Wales, Ireland, Rach, the one I've been dying to talk to you about.
I don't want to talk about it, Chloe.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to take you through it. I'm really, really sorry, but we'll get through it. It's going to be fine. It wasn't bad. Okay, it's
Was
not a
it good?
disaster by any means. Of course, we had a whole host of Euro 2025 playoff finals kicking off at the weekend, including Wales versus Ireland. The first leg ended 1-1. Ireland host Wales tonight at the Aviva Stadium for the second leg. How did you find Friday night at the Cardiff City Stadium? Massive crowd, record crowd for Wales Women's International. What were your thoughts on it? How did it all go down?
I didn't enjoy a minute of it, Chloe. It was very stressful. No, it was awful. Didn't like it. Difficult to watch. Had butterflies in my stomach the whole time. There's something about playing Wales in Wales that just makes it all the more difficult. And I think was always a difficult one to call. So no real surprise that it ended 1-1. I feel a bit like neither side were really playing to win. It felt a bit like they were playing not to lose. And I think,
cagey.
Yeah, and I think that the fear was not being in the tie in the second leg. I don't really feel like either side did a brilliant job of implementing their own style on the game. As much as Rhiannon Wilkinson will say that, she said, I wasn't pleased with our style of play. She says that she thinks that essentially they let Ireland play their style, which Ireland are very good at, blah, blah, blah. And actually, I disagree. I don't really think Ireland implemented much of a style either. I think they started the better, Ireland, and then Wales got that goal and they just kind of dipped off a bit and Wales looked the better side. And then the second half, Ruth Littlejohn's goal, what was quite lovely is her sister Siobhan put up a post about her kind of saying, I would love to score another goal for Ireland, how much it would mean to her and, how she hasn't scored for a number of years. Now, it did go down as a Clark own goal, which I think is a bit savage, but Risha took this ambitious aim from about 35 yards out and it looped over the goalkeeper, hit the crossbar and then hit the back of the goalkeeper's head.
Oh, God, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, but it was funny because I was watching it and I saw Rouge take the shot and I literally said out loud to myself, don't shoot from there. That kind of frustrated, like, what are you doing? And then I was like, oh, it's gone in. So
it was a screamer. I think that was the moment that really popped off on socials. Yeah, I think that kind of like she looked so happy when it went in though. Like it felt like a real big moment for her.
She'll be claiming that. She'll be absolutely
100%.
Claiming that.
100%, and so she should.
It has been given to the goalkeeper, which I think is a shame. But just sometimes as a photographer, you can really based on the kind of action you get, it really tells a tale about a game. And I got very little from that game, particularly the second half, because it just felt like the game was played primarily in the midfield. Mm-hmm. Do you know that kind of way? Like neither side really managed to get a hold of the game. And at times, players felt a little bit isolated. I think we really were missing Aoife Mannion, Louise Quinn in the back line. Niamh Fahey was drafted in, and that was a mistake that led to the goal. Niamh Fahey had the opportunity to clear the ball and she completely hit it. But I do think we were missing that kind of commanding presence of those two, particularly with set pieces. But yeah, I just felt like everyone was just a little bit nervous and everyone was afraid of making a mistake. And it was a bit of as expected, a feisty encounter, which I think both managers were expecting.
What was it like in terms of the sort of the crowd and how kind of boisterous they were about obviously wanting Wales to do well in that fixture? I mean, how was it? Do you think that made an impact at all?
100%. The crowd were great. I have to say, hearing the Welsh anthem is a special anthem, and hearing that live was lovely, and it was something I didn't want to enjoy because I enjoyed our anthem, but actually I kind of stood back and I put my camera down and I was like, this is really cool to hear live and to hear how the crowd get into it. So yeah, I do think the crowd had a massive impact. And Wales are really able to use that to drive them a little bit, and amazing to get a record crowd. But yeah, as I said, I just feel like neither team were really willing to put too much on the line. It's totally different now. I think coming back to the Aviva, I think the crowd will have a similar effect with Ireland. They've sold over 25,000 tickets, which is brilliant. But there was a lovely line from Eileen Gleeson post-match when she was asked about whether or not she felt pressure, going home. And she said, I don't feel the pressure is on our shoulders. I feel like it's in our soul. This is our home. We love playing in the Aviva. We love the crowd. It is magical. You walk out, they sing. There's nothing better than being at home in Ireland. And I heard that and it just like gave me shivers. It's in our soul. I love that. So
if that is an arousing speech, I've never heard one.
It's just that similar passion between the two teams, which I think makes these encounters so good. And like, I cannot explain how big a game this is going to be at the Aviva. You know, the last time Ireland qualified for a major tournament, the only major tournament was, of course, the World Cup, and was away from home. If they could do it on home soil, it would just be incredible.
I mean, Eileen Gleeson's contract expires after Ireland's involvement in the Euros game. The Euros comes to an end. What do you think would happen to her if Ireland don't qualify? I mean, she's kind of said that she'll stay on no matter what and kind of played it down a little bit. But I do feel like there's something that, I mean, that was such a rousing speech. How can you kind of go from that to calling it quits if it doesn't go to plan?
I do think that is kind of a media-made subject. Like, you know, I really don't understand why the FAI would be talking to her about a contract now. You know, that isn't something that should be worried about or thought about right now. They've enough to be thinking about. It's something that should come up after either qualifying or not qualifying. You know, I think it all comes down to the ambition of the federation. I think you have to argue that she has done a good job since she's come in. And I just don't feel like it's something we should be thinking about right now. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if she stayed on, because, you know, I think she's absolutely enjoyed herself, and she'll want more experiences with this team. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't even feel like it's something we should be asking a manager about right now. It's just not the time.
And what's the general vibe with sort of the fans around her involvement with the squad? I mean, I get the impression that she's sort of fairly well liked.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you come in and you win a load of games, and you then go and have to play up against big squads and put in pretty decent performances, like, fans are going to be happy with that. You know, she's doing her best to bring players up from League of Ireland where she can. But I think she's very frank. She's says what she thinks. And I think that's also valued, you know, because people kind of maybe know where they stand a bit more with her. Like, she doesn't mince her words, and I rate that about her.
Well, I 100% think, I mean, if she's able to lead Ireland to the Euros in front of a crowd of 25,000 people on home soil, like, that has got to stand for something. I mean, what would your reaction be? Like, how would you celebrate that moment? Like, how is it going to be popping off in your household?
I don't know. It's a really difficult one when you're working games that are so big and momentous. It's quite difficult to really do the two. You know, you want to be celebrating, you want to be capturing the best imagery. You know, it's, I don't want to think about it because, you know, you're afraid to then have that disappointment. But I do think it would be pretty magical. And whatever happens at the Aviva, you know, we're going to see a team qualify for the Euros for the first time. So that will be pretty special. But God, I hope it's Ireland. And, you know, like I said, for them to do it at home would be, like, I can't put into words. I think it'd be pretty magical.
Oh my God, mate, you get a bit emotional. Well, best of luck to them. Best of luck to you as well, and your poor heart as you watch the game unfold.
Try to watch through me fingers.
Yeah, and also sending thoughts and prayers to Sophie, who will have to deal with that once you get home, good or bad. Yeah, but no, good luck, mate.